o'clock in Wrexham. It's 12 o'clock where I am in Lethbridge, Calgary, Edmonton, Alberta. Yes. So welcome in. Welcome in. We've got lots to talk about. We've got lots to get through. I tell you what, got some interesting things to get through, like the last match. This is very interesting from the last match. And squad values as well. Who's worth what? The top to the bottom. So I've got to say, welcome into the pre-game. It's Sheffield Wednesday coming into the Stoke Kairas. It's the 23rd of August. That is a historical date. I'm going to tell you now. But yes, 23rd of August is when the game gets going. It's the 21st now, so it's the pre-game. And we're going to be talking quite a few things. Callum Doyle's in the news, yes. But what I do say is welcome Sheffield Wednesday fans and Wrexham fans and neutral fans. And I'm going to say one thing. Sheffield Wednesday fans, you have my utmost sympathy. Your club has been so mismanaged over the years. It's a catastrophe. And to think the games that have happened at Hillsborough, the stadium where you guys live, man, oh man, I never thought I'd see Sheffield Wednesday in such dire straits. And got to say, it's all down to one man, the owner. And we're going to get to that. But I'll tell you, Sheffield Wednesday fans, you have my sympathy for what you're going through. It's a tough time. We're going to talk about some tough things. Wrexham fans, you're going to enjoy this because not so long ago, Wrexham were in dire straits. Big time dire straits. Now, we're not in dire straits at all. Not in dire straits at all. Things are looking really good. Just going to hit something here. But dire straits was what Wrexham were years ago. Now, things are looking great. And you have to say Rob and Ryan are the big impetus. Rob first, then Ryan. Oh, yes. Sir Rob of Wrexham was the first one. Sir Rob of Wrexham was the first one. Sir Ryan came after. But I'll tell you what, Wrexham fans worldwide, or in actual fact, at Ground Zero at Wrexham, everybody is absolutely loving what those guys have done for Wrexham, the community, the club, the whole shebang. I mean, the air of confidence that Wrexham has now on the field, in the stands, in the town, around the world, that was never there. It is now. It is now. So we're going to get into a load of things. What we're going to talk about is some of the betting. We're going to talk about the club news with Callum Doyle coming up next. Also, age is the factor. Last match. I'm talking about last match, and it really does resemble the first match. And we need to change something. But age is the factor. We're going to get to that one too as well. We're talking about West Brom. We're going to expose huge problems as well for Wrexham. West Brom. That West Brom game exposed huge problems for Wrexham. I'm going to get to that one too. September 1st. Remember this. September 1st is deadline day. If we're going to do any more dealing and wheeling or wheeling and dealing and getting people in or pushing people out, September 1st, deadline. We can keep going up until then. So Callum Doyle, we got time. He hasn't come across the line yet. But I got a feeling it's going to be pretty soon. We're also going to talk about the head-to-head, very interesting head-to-head. We'll talk about the focus on Wrexham. We'll talk about the prediction for the game. We'll talk about focus on Sheffield Wednesday and Wrexham fans. You need to hoist into that. You need to hoist into that. And it's not to make Sheffield Wednesday look bad. It's just to give you an honest account, Wrexham fans, of where we're going, or should I say the family. Just to give you an honest account of where we're going, what we're going up against, how good, how bad, how rotten, how beautiful. I'm going to give you the honest goods about Sheffield Wednesday and their rotten, disgusting owner. I say that, and you'll realize that when we get through this. We're also going to talk about Henrik Pedersen, the coach, and then we're going to go through the match thoughts, and then we'll finish off with a little bit of an announcement towards the end. But right now, let's start with the betting. Wrexham are favourites to win this game. Yes, a championship match, number 3, 2 down, 2 losses, looking for the first points of the season. Chance now for a win. There is a definite chance for a win. Sheffield Wednesday, a team in dire straits, like I just told you. And if you look along the past few years, maybe about 7 or 8 years, it started very well, but it's ending so badly. We're going to get to that. So that you Wrexham fans in the family, it's not a good feel factor, but you'll know what we're going up against. And you may well feel better for this game going into it, yeah, because obviously Wrexham's a favourite. The betting, I'll take you to the betting right now. Wrexham are 3-5 against. That's not good odds to win. The bookies are saying Wrexham's are the favourite. The draw's coming in at a 3-1. So Wrexham and Sheffield are looking like a draw is possible, according, and that's Ladbrokes. Ladbrokes. I only deal with Ladbrokes. And then Sheffield Wednesday to win. Wrexham were 3-5. Sheffield Wednesday 17-4. Huge against odds. You're putting 17 on to win 4. Massive against odds. Massive against odds. Tell you what, let's take a look at Callum Doyle. He is not the new signing right now, but he may well become our new signing pretty soon. If he does, I tell you what we're bringing in. Before I talk about Callum and his numbers, I have watched video of this young man. And I've watched video of him playing for certain teams like Sunderland, Coventry, Leicester, Norwich. Not bad teams, eh? Sunderland, Coventry, Leicester, Norwich. He's played for those teams, and he's played well. And when you see what this young man has done in his career so far, you might well think, yeah, we need to bring him in. I'm going to the board. This is what I've collated on Callum Doyle right now. But I'll tell you again, what I've seen on video, what I've seen when he's played for these teams over the last few years, it's not a young man. He's 21, but he's not a young man in this game. The way he reads the game, the way he is about the game, it's absolutely massive. If we can get this guy over the line at 21, prediction, he would become one of Wrexham's biggest, best ever defenders for the future moving forward. And the reason why I say that is the way he tackles, the way he intercepts, his guile, his confidence on the ball, the flicks he does at the last second are absolutely beautiful. It ties up the defender, but it opens up space for the guy left or right. He's got a great brain. At 21, he thinks quicker than most of our guys on our team right now. I'm telling you, the ball play, the feet, the balance, the speed, the strength in tackle and in heading, it's there. He's a veteran in a young man's body. The 8 million, excuse me, got to crush that right now. A bit of a crush. But his presence on the ball, you can look at Connor Cody and in his highlights in his career where he had this confidence and presence on the ball that he still has. Callum Doyle has that in bags. He's also very strong. Connor Cody only weighs 174 pounds. That's not much. And he's 6'1", yeah? Not much at all. Callum Doyle comes in heavier, faster, stronger, younger. That young part I'm going to touch on as we go through because the last match, we didn't look so young. We didn't look so young the match before. Now, looking at Callum Doyle's numbers, and we're going to get into the board right now. He's a Man City product. You could not be at Manchester City if you're a dud. He's a top-line young'un. He's a top-line young'un. And I get this. He's a top-line young'un. Starts Man City 2021. In 2021 to 2022, on loan at Sunderland for 36 matches. Scores a goal. Not bad at all. 2022 to 2023 at Coventry City, 41 games, no goals. Leicester City the following season, 23-24, 17 games. Last season with Norwich City, 24-25, 40 games. 3 out of those seasons are pretty much full seasons. 1 was a half season. He's done 3.5 seasons, full matches at 21 years of age, which is very young. And he's got all those games and all that experience under his belt already. Whichever team signs this guy gets a top defender. He's intercepting the plays. He's tackling, his passing, the way he reads the game. Like I said before, I'm not making you suck eggs here, guys, but this young kid, 21 years old, plays like a veteran, and there's more to it. There's more to it. I'm going to say this much. Man City have 3 reasons to maybe keep or sell. The first reason for Man City to sell him is that they know ahead of time he's not going to be a Man City player. He's never played for Man City, and he's played for 4 teams on loan in 4 seasons. When you see that, you know that Man City are trying to offload the young guy and trying to recoup some finances that they invested into him when they took him on their books. So City are looking to get into some cash and to offload him to somebody else. That's the first thing. Second thing as well, Wrexham need to now tie him up for a proper price. And the add-ons that come with that as well, should Wrexham get into the Premier League, there'll be more to pay. So just like Nathan Broadhead, it comes in at 7.5. This kid, Callum Doyle, probably will come in at 8, maybe a little bit less. It all depends how well the wheeling and dealing goes. But if we bring him across the line, someone's going to have to stand aside. Someone in that back three that played last game is going to have to move out of their slots. A few players are going to have to move out of their slots as we crimp and we create a team to start chasing it in the Championship. Right now, we're not in it. We're behind it. We're behind the 8 ball right now. We need to start crimping, bringing in a few more. And once I start hitting the ages pretty soon, you'll understand where I'm going. Now, talking about Callum Doyle internationally, he's only 21. Get this. 2021, the U18s, England. He's an England product. U18s, he played 1 game. 2021 to 2022, U19, England. He played 14 games. He got a goal. 2022 to 2023, U20s, 6 games, no goals. 2023, the U21s, the team just below the English national team. 2023 to now, 5 games, 2 goals. Now, I'm going to say something here. A lot of young players get to play for the national teams in Britain, England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland. They get to play on a lot of those teams if they're with big teams. So when you're with Man City, you're with Arsenal, Liverpool, yeah, Newcastle nowadays, Aston Villa nowadays, you could say so too, and a few other big clubs. The youth programs are looked very closely at by the England, Scotland, Irish, Welsh, and Northern Irish national boards, the U levels, the under 18s, under 20s, under 21s, etc. They look very closely at those clubs to bring in some of their top players to make the national teams at the U levels look great. The only thing is, not all the kids that play for the national teams in Britain, per se, just as the example, will ever continue to be an international player. They've been stoofed at a big club because the big clubs think they've got the talent to become that player. They obviously didn't over time. And as you see with many other players that go through the Championship, then go into League One and possibly League Two, they fade away. They fade right away. So just because you're with a big club doesn't mean you're going to play for your national team forever, amen. But because you are with a big club, the chances are the national teams are going to come and say, hey, we want to see you in the squad. We want to test you out, see what you've got, yada, yada. Only because you're with a big club, you must be good. Not always the case. Sometimes you get guys like, I remember years ago, Steve Bull. Steve Bull was with Wolverhampton Wanderers, played for England, was in the Championship and also in League One at one stage when he got picked up by England. So you don't have to be with a big club to play for your national team. That's what I'm saying with that. But internationally, he's done it. Also, get this. I like a winner. I like a winner. I've got these stats right down. I love a winner. Callum Doyle. When he was with Sunderland on loan, okay, he won the EFL League One playoffs in 2022, 3 years ago. When he was with Leicester City, he won the EFL Championship the year later, 23-24. He's also won the UEFA European Under-19 Championship with England in 2022. He's a winner. He's won 2 leagues, and he's won an international tournament with England. Yeah, and that's rare because they don't win many. And he's won 3 trophies in 3 years. He knows what it is to win. He's with a winning team. He's with a winning nation when he was with the U19s. So he's got silverware in his trophy cabinet, and he's only 21. But again, last season with Norwich, this is the numbers I'm going to give you with Norwich. We're trying to bring in a guy that wants to be with us and play in the Championship. Here's the deal. Last season with Norwich City, on loan from Manchester City in the Championship, played 40 games. For a guy at that age to play 40 games against big, tough men in the Championship, that is outstanding. And if you can come through that without getting crippled or injured, and you're ready to go this season as a 21-year-old, that's amazing. I tell you, it's amazing. Anywhere from 18 to 21, if you're in the squad, I'm telling you now, and you stick with men and you play in these Championship leagues, is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So 40 games last year, scored a goal in the league. You got a game in the FA Cup. They went straight out. 2 games in the EFL. 43 games total. 1 goal. That's what we're trying to get in. I would say this much. Go, go, go. Get him. Bring him in. Into the chat right now. Pickle Kisser, my man. How you doing, my brother? We may not have the points yet, but man, is the new squad so good. I'm very impressed. I'll tell you what. I'm impressed with it. I am impressed with it. I am impressed with it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to back out of CALLUM. I'm going to go back into the feed. I am impressed with it. I really am. But what gets me, I'm going to go through age is the factor. And I've been analysing what we've been doing in the transfer window. Ages, what we've got on board, the squad, other teams. The average age of the squads for the championship from last year to this year, just a minute. The average age, last year's squads coming into this year was 24 to 25 in the championship. Wrexham right now is 28.3. We're quite senior to a few of these teams. We got a lot of experience. We got a mixture of youth. But 28.3, that needs to come down. The average age of the squad needs to be about 26 at the most. Get an average age of 26 across the board. You got the youth and experience perfectly down, but you got people who are at prime. When you're 26 years of age, physically, you're at prime in this game. Other sports are different, but football, soccer, 26, you are prime. Now, talking about age is the factor. Last match against West Bromwich Albion ended the same way as it did against Southampton. Just one moment. It ended the same way as it did against Southampton. We're in the game. We're not bossing the game, but we're in the game. 1 apiece. Things are looking good. And at Southampton, we lose late. West Brom at home, Stoke at us, we lose late. Southampton was 90 and 90 plus 6 minutes when Southampton got the 2 goals against us, and we should have won that game, as you know. Against West Brom, it was 74th minute and 81st minute, late goals again, that killed the game dead. We had nothing in the tank to come back at. We really couldn't get back in that game, and it was everything to stay in that game for a 1-1. I did say a 1-1 was what I was looking at as the best result for us. We were in there 1-1. I'm going to get to the reasons why that game went sideways, and I'm going to say I'll have to point a slight finger, just a slight finger, at Phil. Not about the tactics, but other things too. But looking at age is the factor. Last match. I'm going to go through the starting lineup from the last game. I've got it right in front of me. I'm going to read it out. The starting lineup, last match. Danny Ward in goal. He's 32. 2 games so far for Wrexham. Maxi Cleworth, 23. Young, 148 matches for Wrexham. Connor Cody, 32. There's 2 30-year-olds. 2 games for Wrexham. Lewis Brunt, 24. He's 25 November the 6th. So he'll be 26. So he'll be 25, sorry. Ryan Barnett is 25. He'll be 26 September 23rd. George Dobson, 27 November 18th. He'll be 28. Matty James is 34. There's 3 30-year-olds from the last game. Lewis O'Brien, 26 October 14th. He'll be 27. So this next coming months, we've got a few guys turning another age, another year. James McLean, 4 now, over 30, 36. He'll be 37, April 22nd next year. Josh Windass, there's 5, 31, free agent, in from Sheffield Wednesday, 35. 5 of them, 31. Kiefer Moore, 33. There's 6 guys that started the last match against West Bromwich Albion, and West Bromwich Albion, on average, had a team at 26 to 27 max against us, average 28.3. They had a lot more youth on the field and a lot more speed, and the speed is where this league is really where you need to get it going. When you go forward on the ball, speed is what kills other teams dead. We got killed on that right side defense, left side of the offense too many times. Maxi Cleworth, not coming down on him, but he needs some support on that right side. Ryan Barnett, Ryan Longman, you got to tuck in and help Maxi out, because the big hole on that left side and right side midfield, right side defense, left side forward, was huge. was absolutely massive. It's one thing to go for the counter-attack, but you can't leave the back door wide open. Too many times Maxi Cleworth was literally stranded a few times on his own. Connor Cody doesn't have the speed anymore. He really doesn't have the speed. He's doing his best to stay in the game. It's experience that puts Cody in the right place. He reads the game, but he can't run with the young'uns and stay with them for 90 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, we had problems. You're going to hear about it pretty soon, but we had problems in the last 15 minutes, absolutely. NHL, NB, and EFL. That is one big one. NHL, NBA, NFL, CFL, MLB, EFL. That's awesome, mate. That is awesome. That's awesome. Callum Doyle signs for Wrexham. Beautiful, hey? I tell you. But just saying with the age of things, we had 6 guys at the age of 30 plus going up against younger teams. That has to change. It's one thing to bring in the experience, but it's got to change. It really does. It really does. Now, West Brom, that match on the board exposed huge problems. Huge problems. The late goals. You've heard about them. Are we going to get late goals this week? Sheffield Wednesday having a hell of a time. We're going to get to Sheffield Wednesday as well. Do I feel sorry for Sheffield Wednesday fans? Yes, I do. Like I said on their head, they remind me of Wrexham from a few years back, but probably going to be in a worse state if it carries on. Once I get to the squad values, I'm going to go to the squad values here pretty soon as well. Once you hear the squad values of the championship teams top to bottom, it really will tell stories. You'll really realize what we're going up against. When money is dangled in front of you, and I tell you the numbers of the stats of what each squad is worth, you literally may shake your head. You literally may shake your head. But in with that last game, I'm going to say this. I said I had a few things to say about Phil. With the defending, is it fitness? Is it fitness? Or is it fatigue? Because when I look at our guys, we do not seem, in my mind, to be as fit as I think we should be. I think there's a lot of guys with heavy legs at about the 60 minutes to 70 minute stage where it's showing the fitness levels. I'm going to be honest with you. Georgie Dobson, last match, dragged his ass around that field like he couldn't keep up. He's literally running around, huffing and puffing and dragging his heavy weight around. I'll give you an example. Ollie Palmer, 203 pounds that man weighs. Big boy. Dobson's not as heavy. Not even close. But Dobson, last match before, looks like he's running around on fumes and he doesn't know how to keep up. And I think at the end of the day, we've got to look to replace George Dobson. You might not agree with that, but moving forward, 27 coming up, I think the time and the writing is on the wall. And some of the players that we brought in haven't really hit the ground running. That gel time I told you about, if it goes slowly, we're in the 19 to 24 club right off the edge of the season. We talked about this. We're in a 19 to 24 club right now after 2 games. We have to start hitting the board. We have to start scoring. And the defense has really got to lock it up. And who is your favorite in net, Danny Ward or Arthur Okonkwo? Right now, I think Danny has had a few goals go in that didn't make him look so great. So everybody right across the board needs to start picking it up and bringing top performance in. September 1st. Remember that, September 1st. That's the deadline day. That's the deadline day. We can keep buying people until we get there. Talking about Phil, the 60 minutes, the 70 minutes, the 80 minutes go through, and then you're getting substitutions. I'm looking at the substitutions last game. Now, Broadhead came on for Windass after 30 minutes because of the injury, yeah? Let's hope that's not so bad. And that's one thing about Phil. He's very coy on the injuries. Remember, Kiefer Moore could have been out for long, and nobody said a damn thing, eh? Kept everybody guessing. That keeps the opposition guessing too as well. So Phil's not releasing anything. He's being very coy about the injuries to his own players. But yes, Windass off after 30 last match, and Broadhead comes on. Didn't do too much. What he did do was pretty decent. He should have scored open in front of goal when he pushed it to the left of the face of the goal, yeah? But hey, you know what? He'll hit the net eventually. But what he did do was pretty decent. Let him settle. Let him gel. How long will it take? There's a lot of pieces in this puzzle that have come in that need to gel. How long will it take? To me, it seems to be taking a little bit longer than ideal. Barnett came off for Longman at 70, and Sammy Smith came on for Matty James at 80. Matty James, Longman, or Barnett, they did need to be changed out. But that's 3 substitutions that Phil made. Only 3. Dobson needed to come off at least at 65 to give us more legs in the middle. I don't care who you bring on, but get fresh legs on, because in this league, if you've got long legs or tired legs, or you're dragging your ass across the field, you're not keeping up with the guy next to you. And that's what happened here. And it really did compound that finish to the game. If we'd have had fresh legs moving through with good substitutions, not late substitutions, I don't think we lose 3-1. And that's the way I'm talking about when I'm saying I'm on. And that's the way I'm talking about when I'm saying I'm pointing a little finger at Phil. I'm not pointing a big finger. Phil's done magic for Wrexham all through the years. But I'm just saying, I've got to point a finger with the substitutions. Back into the chat, Phil J. Weston. How you doing, brother? Hi, guys. Callum Doyle signed. First points on the board this Saturday. I tell you, I don't know if you caught what I was talking about with Callum Doyle, but he came through 4 clubs. He's played some football. He's also a England international, which I think them days are gone. Keep your eye on that, but I don't think you see him becoming an international player for England again. I think those days are gone. But bringing him in, yeah, absolutely loving it. I'm going to go to the head-to-head next, but I want to just check something out because you guys, you got me interested. I'm going to go back in this thing. Thank you. 1 second. There we go. Here he is. Just for you, Phil, last game or last season, 40 matches, 1 goal, and that was with Norwich City. And he's been with Leicester. He's also been with Sunderland. He's got 3 medals. He's an England international U player, so he's got the talent that we need. But I don't know if he's going to be the sole reason. If we bring him in for this match, which we should, who sits? Is it Brunty? Is it Cody? Is it Cleworth? My take is this, and you might not agree, and I'd love you not to, but I think that you've got a great head with experience with Connor Cody. Callum Doyle looks like the perfect defender. So who do you move out? Do you say, Lewis, you done great on the left. Maxi, you done great on the right. Who's going on the bench? There's the reality. There is the reality right now. Who's going to sit on the bench? Maria McConnell, how you doing, Maria? Our Lady of the Club's in the town, people. 7.5 million for Callum Doyle. Plenty of games at only 21 in the Championship, 22 in October. What a pickup, eh? What a pickup. But again, you got to think someone's going to have to hit the bench, which makes the bench stronger. That's what we need to do. We need a strong bench so that we can, like for like, change someone. It automatically doesn't alter the team, doesn't hurt the team. It keeps it rolling. Therefore, like I say, Lewis Brunt, Maxi Cleworth. Who's going to sit? Who do you think? Come on, drop it down now. Come on, jump in. Lewis Brunt or Maxi Cleworth? Who sits? Because I got to think, when you're bringing in a guy like this, Callum Doyle's got to be playing with Connor Cody at the back. So again, who do you think? Who's your choice to partner up with those two? You might think that Maxi Cleworth should be the guy. You might think Lewis Brunt should be the guy. But I'm telling you now, it's a very, very, very tight line. Both have been decent so far. Lewis Brunt, Maxi Cleworth have been decent so far in the Championship. They both haven't been perfect, and they both have had their worries. And at times have both been caught out wrong side of the forwards. So they're both making junior mistakes. Those senior guys coming in are helping out. For my take, might shock you, but I think I would like to trial Brunty, Cody, and Doyle and put Max on the bench. I think Max needs a little bit of a Not exactly a kick up the bum, but recently his game has not been what it was. Is it the step up to the championship that's catching up with Maxi? It could be. Is the adjustment to the league? Absolutely. But I think sometimes you need to shelter your players from the barrage of a big league by protecting them and using them sparingly and bringing them on smoothly throughout the first 15 games of this season. We don't want to wreck anybody's confidence or self-esteem by them having a flat line in form off the back of 3 years of perfection. We got to think about this. So at the back line, you got to think. Callum Doyle's coming in. I'm ecstatic about that. Absolutely ecstatic about it. I've seen the guy play. He's got touch. He can tackle. He can read the game. He can intercept. He can hit you. He's great in the air. He can score. It's a big one coming in. Back into the chat. Grim Plays. Grim Plays, how you doing, brother? Clue is going to partner Brunt. Can play in defensive midfield role also. Okay, so let's look at that. You're saying Cleary stays where he is. Brunty can do the DM role. Get Bronte in midfield. Get Dobson on the bench. What do you think of that? Who's got the best legs, Brunt or George Dobson? And George does a lot of running around in the midfield, yeah, but it's only a small area where he's running. Brunt is up and down. So they both got about the same amount of running, probably about 11 Ks per game. And it's not that I'm not a fan of George Dobson. I am. But maybe Grim Plays has hit something there whereby you got to say Brunty goes into midfield and does the DM role. He's also got more height, lighter on his feet. And as I said on the head, I do like George Dobson. But recently, when you look around, he's dragging his ass and he's gasping, sucking air, everything that he does. So, but let's say, big day for Wrexham, big day for Wrexham. It's good to see this kid come in because I tell you what, I am a fan of DOYLE. I really am. I've watched the highlights. I've seen him play. And I tell you, he excites me. Now, head-to-head before we move along. And don't forget, September 1st is deadline day. It's coming up fast. If we're going to get somebody else in there, we're going to have to do it quick. The head-to-head. It's interesting. This is a good one. It's a really good one. And by the way, I'm with you this weekend for the watch-along. Can't wait. Can't wait. I've been so pissed off that I didn't get to the first game. Obviously, Wedding last week was fantastic. And yes, I did watch it over and over, and it wasn't the greatest. But you know what? Keep watching it over and over when you're at an event. You'll start seeing things that you're going to talk about. And there were so many things I wanted to talk about at the wedding, but you weren't there and I wasn't here. Anyway, head-to-head, first match. And we're going to go into a historical date here. But the first match, September 5th, 1975. September 5th, 1975. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wrexham 0. That's the first game. The very last match, though, was August 23rd, 2006. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wrexham 4. And it was a League Cup match back in 2006. August 23rd. Historical date, I say, because we play Sheffield Wednesday again this weekend, August 23rd. Ironic as that, eh? How ironic. But the head-to-head, if you want to know the head-to-head, how it goes all term, I'll break it to you. But there hasn't been that many games. But the head-to-head, Sheffield Wednesday, they've won 8. There's been 2 draws. So you ask yourself, how many times has Wrexham beaten Sheffield Wednesday? Come on, ask yourself. Is it more? Is it less than 8? Unfortunately, for Wrexham fans, it's less than 8. It's 5. So the total head-to-head, 8 for Sheffield Wednesday, 2 draws and 5 wins. Back into the chat. Phil J. Weston, with Sheffield Wednesday in disarray. Oh, yeah. At the moment, and with their problems, we have got to seize the moment and go for the throat. If we come out of this game with no points, then I'd start to worry a tad. I love it. I'm going to read that again, everybody. Phil J. Weston, absolute gold here. With Sheffield Wednesday in disarray at the moment and with their problems, we have got to seize the moment and go for the throat. Ruthless. Ruthless. If we come out of this game with no points, then I'd start to worry a tad. And I'll just... I'll raise you 20 on that one, my friend. If we come out of this game without any points, I am starting to think this is going to be more than the tough season that I have predicted, and that it's going to go tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher, and it's going to be a long season. If we have a tough season, I just want everybody to realize one thing. Wrexham have been up and down in the past. Football teams go up and down. They get promoted, they get relegated, they get promoted, they get promoted, they get promoted. Only one team ever like that, back is us. But you have to now realize we're in a tougher league than we've been in for quite some time. And we're not going to get it and have it all our own way, obviously. But this is now the time you stick with your team through thick and thin. When things start going a little bit sideways, or they're not going to a situation where you've got a smile on your face with every game that comes along, you have to stick through the bad times to have the good times. You look at all the Wrexham fans over the decades that stuck through horrid bad times. Phil J. Weston, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, horrid times that we stuck through, but you stuck with your club. Now, with this season, as I've said before, I've tried to warm you up slowly to a hard battle every week whereby promotion is not going to be guaranteed. Not at all. And a playoff spot this time around, as I told you, it's going to be tough to get to. A midfield, or mid-table, I should say. That would be an achievement for your first season. Finish mid-table first season, that would be an absolute achievement. But what I would say is stick with this. And each week, when it gets tough, you have to know how to enjoy a tough match as well as a game that we are just walking through and winning easy like we've done for the last 3 years. So you really got to bite down on your nerve and just go with it. And I can guarantee you this, you can have a fantastic time watching Wrexham in a tough battle and eventually get a point or get a win. Even lose a game, you can have a good time watching them. But now is the time apparent, and Phil's absolutely right. If we don't win this game or come out this game with any points this weekend, we're in trouble. Pickle kisser back at you. Wrexham wins this 3-0 Saturday. You know, I've got a few more things to talk about with Sheffield Wednesday, but I will say, by the time I get through it, I'm going to leave you with a positive smile. Absolutely. But Grim plays, yeah. Now we have lost only one by 1 goal in each of the 2 games. By at least 2 to 3 for those games. We played a recently ex-Prem team and we're beating M well into extra time. Maria McConnell, players need to gel. Yes. Parky has been backed. He and the team will start to deliver Saturday time with the win. I got a good feeling for this weekend. And then again, balancing it between Phil, Grim plays, Maria McConnell, Pickle Kisser. Two ways this goes. If you go through the bookies, the lad books, they want a 3-1 on for a draw. Wrexham is the favourite to win it by the bookies. But I tell you, it's going to go one or two ways. And if Wrexham don't get points out of this, I really am going to worry that this season will be more than tough. Now's the time to get the points. Now's the time for the team to gel. Absolutely. Like Maria McConnell says, we've got to gel. Now's the time to get the season kicked off. And when you see Callum Doyle on that ball, I tell you now, you're going to see a guy that really does know how to play around. Prediction. My prediction is 2-1 Wrexham. That's what I'm seeing. 2-1. It could be more. This is the kind of game where if Wrexham step it up, come into the game, get the early goal. We need to get the early goal, settle the nerves. This match will be about nerves. Both these teams are in trouble. Both these teams are not playing up to the level. But this is the game with Wrexham at home. And Wrexham at home has goals in them. We know that. We got goals at the Stoke Kiras. Wrexham at home has goals in them. Sheffield Wednesday in disarray. We're going to get into how much disarray pretty soon. But 2-1 is what I'm saying, maybe more. If it goes the other way, and Wrexham has one of those days where we can't even hit the barn door and it bounces off the bar and it deflects off the keeper's ass, goes wide, and the referee gets in the way and it hits his head and goes over the bar. If one of those days comes along, and it would have to be one of those days, then you probably could see Sheffield Wednesday pulling the 1-0. But for this match, I have to say, in all honesty, Wrexham is the favourite. With the weapons that they brought in and the trouble that Sheffield Wednesday is going through right now, I'll start to unveil why I feel that 2-1 maybe should be more. But looking at Sheffield Wednesday, the focus is now on Sheffield Wednesday, guys. And next, I'm going to go to squad values. You're going to love that. We'll get that out of the way. Squad values is coming up next. This also will tell you how to feel and more intel about these two teams, which is definitely going to make you feel a hell of a lot better. But let's get into Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going to read off the board here right now. Don't need to go to their stats. Don't even need to talk about anything technical about them. To tell the financial truth about this team is to talk about the owner, Desh von Chanziri. When he came into Sheffield Wednesday 8 years ago, roughly, he starts to put money into the club, buys big players, puts a consortium team to go out and find the players, 3 players, ex-players at the top, technical directors, etc., to groom players into the club, start raising the bar, get them up in the leagues. The thought back then was to aim for the Premiership, just like Wrexham. But that was Sheffield Wednesday back then under Chanzuri. He's still the boss. Since then, there's been a few transfer embargoes. They're under one right now, but not legally from the league. They just cannot buy players. They're literally in a situation where they can't get players across the line unless there's an emergency. Right now, they're looking to trade off an emergency right now. Sheffield Wednesday, they're looking to get Charles a replacement, and Charles is the goalkeeper. They're trying to get a replacement for him. He's got a shoulder injury. So he's going to be out for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so. And he started the first 3 games for Sheffield Wednesday. He's done very well. But they're in disarray. They're literally in disarray. Furthermore, the trade embargo earlier was because they didn't pay their bills to revenue and customs, like your IRS or your Revenue Canada or whatever it is, your taxation office. If you don't pay your tax bill, you don't pay the bills referenced to the tax office, or the Football Association then says, well, you're not allowed to buy players, and you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that. And until you clear your bills, you can't do nothing. Yes, you can play your games. And they may even ask you to shut down portions of your stadium, etc., which they're allowed to do, which they can do. So Sheffield Wednesday has been literally a club turned upside down. Now, Chanzuri, where does he come from? Thailand. What's he about? Tuna. He's a massive tuna consortium owner. The company that he owns in Thailand is roughly worth about £600 million. That's not enough money to get into football. If you've got that kind of money, stay out of football. All you're going to do is come in, make dents, might not be good, and then you'll leave. Exactly what he's doing right now. If you're coming into football or into soccer, you need over $1 billion to be happy with what you're doing. You can't have a small owner. 600 million for the championship is not massive. When I tell you and show you what each squad is worth, this will start to click into place for you. And when I tell you exactly what we're worth, it really will click into place. But I tell you, pay your bills, stay in the transfer market, make your team grow. Because right now, Sheffield are in disarray with the player acquisitions, what they can't do. And get this, at one stage as well, Chanzuri even asked the Sheffield Wednesday fans for £2 million. Yeah, because he was unable to pay the bills or the players' wages because of cash flow problems. That really should start making you shake your heads about where this club is at and absolutely how it feels. Can you imagine having a club owner like that? What would you feel like going to work every day at a club like that was so uncertain about its finances? You didn't know if you were going to be here tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday are still worried about their future right now. In fact, at the last game, Sheffield Wednesday went to Leicester City on the road. The fans demonstrated at Leicester City's King Power Stadium, not Hillsborough. Hillsborough is their home stadium. Sheffield have had fan demonstrations at Hillsborough. Beautiful stadium. Historical stadium. But the Sheffield Wednesday fans did not demonstrate last week at their home stadium. They did it at Leicester City's King Power. Yeah. And at the kickoff, all the Sheffield Wednesday fans were outside the stadium, leaving all the seats empty. So TV and clubs and the world could get a good look at the empty away end that Sheffield Wednesday fans had left while they were sitting and standing outside demonstrating. Do you know the only thing that was left on those seats from Sheffield Wednesday fans was a banner. Sheffield Wednesday for sale. I think that should tell you everything about how Sheffield Wednesday fans feel. I do feel very sorry for them. And like I say, let's think about where we were a few years ago, because got to tell you, I wouldn't want to be a Sheffield Wednesday fan, not for nothing. And I'm being respectful. Quick sip. And I'll tell you, if your fans do that, and they're outside, and the whistle blows, and the players see the fans outside, that sends a beautiful message. That really does. Talking about Sheffield Wednesday's coach even further, there's nothing good to talk about this club at all. Really, there isn't. They're in such distress that Henrik Pedersen, the coach, he's 47. He was signed on the 31st of July because Danny Rolf left. He'd had enough. He's gone. So Pedersen takes it over on July 31st. He's been with Sheffield Wednesday since, I think it was June 2023 when he signed with Sheffield Wednesday as an assistant. June 2023 when he signed with Sheffield Wednesday as an assistant to Danny Rule. And when Danny Rule left, he now took the job July 31st. He's literally, I'll tell you what, I'll bring up his career where he's been, because he hasn't really, he's got no playing career. Absolutely no playing career. Henrik Pedersen. The clubs he booked and was managing, right? So, like I say, he has no playing career. He's 47 years old. He's from Denmark. The teams he's coached: Red Bull Ghana, HB Kage, Eintracht Braunschweig in Germany, Strømsgodset, Vendsyssel, Denmark, and Sheffield Wednesday now. And when I bring up his numbers, you'll be shocked. I'm going to bring up his stats. HB Kage, that's the first team, July 1st, 2014 to 15, 1 year, 38%. Braunschweig, 14%. Strømsgodset, 26%. This is winning records. 38%, 14%, 26%. First three clubs. With Vendsyssel, 36%. That's his best record so far. I'll give you the numbers. 82 games, 30 wins, 21 draws, 31 losses. Even across the board. 36%. Not bad. What makes you think he's the guy to bring across the ocean to Sheffield Wednesday? 3 games in, no wins, a draw, and 2 losses. 0%. I'm just saying. He's not got anything about him that you would say, this is the guy that's going to steer you to the promised land. And I'm just being straight. So when you look at the distress the club's in, they can't manage to bring players in financially. They've got to bring an emergency goalkeeper in to replace Charles, who's played the first 3 games of the season and did very well. A coach that really, nice man, very nice man. I heard the press conference this morning at Sheffield Wednesday. Very nice man. But that's not the kind of guy that's going to turn this around. Where's Sheffield Wednesday headed? League One. If they don't get this turned around immediately, they're going to League One. Now, when I start talking about the clubs and the prices, I want you to get into this. You will love this. You will love this. I worked hard on this one for you. I'm going to go through, literally, the estimated squad market value of each championship team. I'll ask you before we start off this. It's 24 teams, so it's going to take a couple of minutes. There's 24 teams. In your mind, who do you think is the most expensive squad in the league? When I tell you, it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel really good. Wrexham's first game of the season, away at Southampton. Most expensive squad in this league, Southampton. £203 million. That's what their squad is worth. That's the most expensive club. Next up is Leicester with 178 million. And then it's Ipswich with 168 million. Middlesbrough, 104. Birmingham City, coming up soon. Coventry City, 101 million. So those are all the big prices. Birmingham City, 95 million. Sheffield United, 91 million. West Bromwich Albion, we just played them, right? We just played them. Now, remember this, West Brom. Remember this, West Bromwich Albion. 64.85 million. 64.85 million. I'm going to come back at you, that. But Bristol City, 63 million. Swansea City, other Welsh club, 61 million. Hull City, 59. Stoke City, 53. Watford, 51. Millwall, 42 million. Let's keep going down. Queen's Park Rangers, 39 million. Derby County, 39 million. Preston, 38 million. Blackburn, 38 million. Wrexham, 32 million. That's what we're worth right now. Adding on the 7.5 that we're just going to be paying, we're looking at 39.9 million for us. And below us, only 4 teams are below us. That's Oxford on 30 million, Portsmouth on 27, Charlton on 16, and bottom of the league. And that's why I said on the start of this, Wrexham fans, you're going to feel good about what I bring. Bottom of the league, net value, 13.28 million is what Sheffield Wednesday's squad is worth right now. So when you look at those numbers, again, at the top, Southampton, they beat us, 203 million. West Bromwich Albion beat us, 64 million. And we're worth 39 million. That should register. Watford is 51.8 million, Grims. So just to let you know about the numbers and what it says, when I sort of stumbled and started working on that angle the other day, I thought, I like what I see with that. And I do. And it really does tell a story that we are still building this club. And we're worth nearly 40 million pounds, yeah? 5 times less than what Southampton's was. And on that game that we played at Southampton St Mary's Stadium, we didn't look out of place. We did the last 3 minutes, but prior to that, we were doing well. But when you've got that kind of money in your squad, that quality will resonate on the field. That's what I wanted you to really understand with that point there, is that we are one of the cheapest squads in the league, and we're still cultivating our way through this championship. And next year is going to be a bigger year for us. But we got to survive this season, is what I'm saying. If we could go mid-table, I'd be ecstatic. That would be a perfect season back into the championship for the first time in 43 years. But the numbers tell you the story. They really do. And Pedersen, like I say, coming in, not a player, no playing career, just this nice European coming in to take on Sheffield Wednesday, brought in from an owner that really is destroying Sheffield Wednesday with every single move. It's unbelievable. But I'm going to say this much. As we get into this, there's 2 teams in trouble. I'm going to be with you for the watch-along, and I really am, because, like I say, the first one I missed, second one, wedding. This one I'm so up for. And I had email, Scott Busfield, to you. Great email in the midweek. Loved it very much. In fact, you know what? I loved it that much. I'm going to have a look at it right now. Yeah, just a second. We'll bring that up. Just 1 second, guys. We'll get it over here, because I've got it and I want to read it. And where is it? Just 1 second. Not there. 1 moment, lads. This is where it is. There we go. This is an email coming in from one of the family. And if you want to email me, fifascup@gmail.com anytime. FIFASCUP. One more time. FIFAScup. FIFA SCUP. FIFAScup@gmail. Anytime. I'm going to read this one out. This comes in from Scott Busfield, one of the family. And he's got a point. But it's not to throw a stone through a glass window. It's just to make a point here. Scott writes, I have to keep my mouth shut sometimes, but I totally agree with your sentiments. Sometimes people just make noise like junkyard dogs and seem pissed off at anything positive. As for my money, it's a possible top deal, but only time will tell. I'm very happy with all the trades so far and would ask all Welsh meckering where they'd be without Rob, Ryan, and the dollars. He's got a point. Sometimes I think people have short memories. Talk tomorrow. But top draw, mates. Cheers. And tomorrow being obviously Saturday when we're back into the chat with the watch along. But great point about Rob and Ryan. Where would we be without those guys? Where would we be? We'd be in Sheffield Wednesday shoes, worrying about our future. Totally worrying about our future. All the years that we never had this, the Championship, League One, League Two, all the years that we had the National League, we had lovely football, we had a lovely club, but we didn't have a direction and we didn't have anything really massive to jump to and to fall in love with and to keep going every week. And every week in this era of Wrexham, there is something to jump to. There is something to fall in love with, and there is something to have with you every time. I'm just saying, where would we be without Rob and Ryan? You can lose a player. You can change a coach. Things can get painted on the billboards. Things always change. But your club is your club. Your club is your club. And this is our club. And on the weekend, we do have a chance to get that win. But again, Georgie Dobbs, don't let him stay on the field too long to expose anybody's front door. Your defense relies on your midfield to stay close to them, to shut the holes, not to expose Maxi Clough like was happening last weekend, etc. It's time now to dig deep. We know the names. We're going to see Cammy Doyle coming in. I tell you what, I think you'll enjoy what he does. I think you'll enjoy him on the ball. You'll enjoy the way he reads the game, and you'll enjoy his confidence. He's an absolute stalwart defender. I have no doubt that he'll be able to just slide into this level and have no issues. It might take him 1 or 2 games to really silk it with a few of his colleagues, but I tell you, I feel he's one for the future. I think he's one for now. And if we can, I still say we need a playmaker coming in from midfield before September 1st. That's what I'm looking for. We don't need any more defenders now, but we need more offense and more playmakers. And as for the goalkeeping, Danny Ward didn't look good in the last game on a few issues, but he does look smart and he does look tidy when he's delivering the ball, starting a move. He slows things down, keeps it calm, and he ticks the seconds off to get everybody back into their positions. He doesn't just throw it out willy-nilly. If you notice, he's Mr. Calm. And that's what we need as well. Even taking the throw-ins, we don't need to be rushing the move. Taking the free kicks, keep it smooth. Slow it down. Be methodical. Kick the clock out of the equation. We need to get a win. End of story. This weekend has to be a win. It has to be a win. There's enough bullets up front in our forward line now to start banging the ball in the back of the net. Enough time has gone by. 3 games now. Are we going to gel this weekend? Because if it doesn't happen now, it's going to take a lot longer. We need to gel now. And the pressure, you can believe the pressure is right on the starting 11. They know what's ahead. They know how we started the season. They know that if it continues, we're going to be in a relegation battle for the rest of the season. Ideally, no. But they know. And this weekend, they got to produce. They have to produce this weekend and start the season off. It's game 3. No points. Now's the time. And against Sheffield Wednesday, a team like a wounded animal coming in. This is the team we need to take down, and ruthlessly, we need to destroy them in our own stadium and get them points across the line. This has to be the focus this weekend. Win at all costs. At all costs. We need the points. Come to the watch-along. Enjoy it with me. Let's see what happens. I know this much. I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to all the games. I look forward to seeing you in the chat and you in the watch-along as well. I look forward to your comments and your funny comments and your smart comments and your game comments in the chat as well, like today. But I enjoy seeing all of you. All of you. And remember, I know all of you. Every time I see your name, I get a buzz. And that's no BS. That's just who I am. So get ready for the game. And I tell you, 2-1, that's what I'm looking at. Could be more. But if we have a failure of a day, I'd hate to see the banana skin 1-0. Don't think it's going to happen. Like I say, it looks to me like it's a 3-1 or a 2-1 for Wrexham. I'd be happy with a 1-0 because 3 points is what we need. And don't forget, when you're looking at the goal average, we scored 3, conceded 5. Sheffield scored 1, conceded 5. Both teams scoring, both teams conceding, but Wrexham has the edge. And like I said before, Wrexham is goals at the Keiras, the racecourse ground. We are full of goals at the Keiras. And I'm looking for goals. And I'm looking for a big performance. I'm looking for a statement performance to get us on track, get us moving, and get us into this season. And I'll tell you now, Rob and Ryan, they're looking at this season saying to themselves, holy moly, this is a step up. We better do something. And the way that the transactions have been so far this year with the money that we spent, you realize that they're taking this serious. And come January, I'd expect to see something happen again. So September 1st is the last time we can get anything across the line. Will we? I think one more should come in. Playmaker. Rob? Ryan? Playmaker. Get one of them. Bring a big man down. Get a playmaker. Grab somebody from the Premier League. Bring them down. Let them play make all day long for Wrexham and get our off from the Premier League. Bring them down. Let them play make all day long for Wrexham and get our off. I'm looking forward to the game, guys. I really am. I totally am. I totally am. Get into the watch along with me. And, hey, we need the win. And I tell you, I know you're going to come alive when that game kicks off. So join me early if you're in North America. Join me late if you're in Australia. Join me at game time if you're in Wrexham. But join me, like, subscribe, get in here, and let's all witness what happens together. And let's laugh and cry like we have done over the last few years together, because supporting this team is more than just a promotion. It's a lifestyle. See you at the watch along. Much love.